Welcome to Patty Cake, Bake Me a Starch, the podcast about hockey and home cooking recipes. Brought to you by Renewal Cotton Balls. When you need to get sterile, put our balls in your hands.
Welcome to Patty Cake, Bake Me a Stanch, the podcast about hockey and home cooking, blend of two worlds. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Special shout out to Daniel Wagner for making that dubstep intro for the show. It's you know what, it's fair enough. I guess hopefully it works. I am your host, Wyatt Arndt, and with me, of course, no need for introductions. Jeff Paterson, Vancouver loves him. He's here to help me talk about hockey, talk about cooking. Jeff, how you doing today?
Jeff Paterson here with TSN 1040. Hi, Wyatt. Let's get this over with. I have a conference call with Drance coming up about a new project in the works.
A new project with Drance? I certainly hope that's not a podcast that'll compete with ours, but that could be the case. Jeff, I just thought it would be a great way to start off by just going over some of the Canucks' best players heading into the season and getting your thoughts on them if you're down for that. So first up, I'm just wondering, Elias Pettersson wins the Calder, had a pretty fantastic season, but slowed down near the end. What are your thoughts on Mr. Pettersson heading into this season?
Elias Pettersson is overrated. He doesn't do something. I'll never understand why the Canucks didn't draft Cal Foote. Now there's a last name you can trust. 3 syllables in a last name, ridiculous.
Well, Jeff, you are certainly coming out hot. Gunning down Elias Pettersson, that's a bit of a bold move. I think he's been a fantastic player for Vancouver, but if you think he's not good enough, then that's you're entitled to your opinion. Let's move on to someone else the Canucks drafted. They're hoping he'd be there. He falls down to 7th spot. The Canucks draft Quinn Hughes. This guy looks like a dynamite player. Looks like the kind of defenseman this team has never had. Some questions about if his game could translate to the NHL, but I think he's going to be great. I think that's not even going to be a question, but I want to get your thoughts. What do you think about Quinn Hughes and the season he might have for the Vancouver Canucks?
Quinn Hughes? I don't like him either. He's always doing dips and doodles, and if there's one thing I can't stand, it's players doing fancy things on the ice. Just dump the puck in and changed. Nobody is paying to watch you fart around the ice.
Well, Jeff, that seems a bit harsh. I mean, people like to see skilled players do their thing, and I think you got to give Quinn Hughes a chance to showcase his skill set. But again, fair enough. If that's what you think, you're entitled to that opinion, Jeff. Let's move on to someone else. Bo Horvat. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders to have a good season for the team. He's gonna probably anchor that second line. He's gonna get a lot of defense responsibilities. What are your thoughts on Bo Horvat?
Bo Horvat reminds me of a young Messier.
Oh, well, that is just disgusting, Jeff. Why would you say that? What? Okay, fine. You know what? That's fine for the betterment of the podcast. I'm going to keep going. We're all entitled to our opinions. That's fine. Let's just get on to Brock Boeser, the flow. That shot. He's had a couple of good seasons in Vancouver. He's a guy that looks like he's got a real connection with Elias Pettersson. Surely you're excited to see what this kid can bring to the table this year.
The only thing you need to know about Brock Boeser is that his hair is terrible. And I'm the only one brave enough to say anything about it. I see more flow on Jason Garrett's ketchup-covered pizza than I do in Brock's hair.
Assume you meant John Garrett's pizza, but you know what, Jeff? This is getting a bit out of control. I feel like you're being a little too harsh on these players. Let's just move on to the coaching staff. Travis Green, another year in Vancouver. He's got a better team this year. He's probably got a defense core that he's probably a little bit more happy with. What are your thoughts on Coach Green heading into this season?
I promise you, I will end Travis Green this year. I'm going to ask him slightly pointed questions about his lineup decisions and bury him at some point. That's a JPAT guarantee you can take to the bank.
Jesus, Jeff. Okay, look, this is getting a little too aggressive for my liking. I don't want to lose our cotton ball sponsorship by coming out too hard on these players. Let's just move on to the cooking part of the show, if that's okay with you. And it's, we're supposed to get some recipes from, family, friends, hockey players. But since it's our first episode, I wanted one of us during the recipe, and you volunteered to bring us your favorite recipe. If you could just tell the folks at home your favorite homemade recipe you like to bust out when you're home from the rink.
A can of tomato soup?
A can of tomato soup? Is there like anything like do you do anything special with it? Do you like dress it up a little bit? That just seems a little bit plain, Jeff. A little bit lazy.
There's nothing better than a nice can of uncooked, unsalted tomato soup. I have it for lunch every day.
How like you don't even heat it up? Like you just how do you even eat that?
You just eat it straight out of the can with a spoon. It's delightful.
That's sorry, I'm just a little dry heave there. Okay, you know what? Technically, you did what I asked. You brought a recipe. Again, much like your opinions, everyone's entitled to their own home cooking and their opinions. I guess that's our first pilot episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Jeff, a little bit brought a bit of heat to the episode. I mean, to counterbalance his cold soup, I guess. But hopefully we're back for episode 2. I'm going to let Jeff get to his conference call with Drance about some sort of project in the works, and we'll see you guys next week, where maybe I can bring a recipe that has at least a bit of cooking involved. All right, thanks for listening, everyone.